Welcome to a unique unicorn chef. I say unique because that's what everybody says to the ugly baby, which in this case is going to be Mike Ellis. Mike has been kind enough for this week and next week. The FCC did put a limit on the amount of times we could put him on live. He's going to be our host. So I would like to thank Mike for stepping in and doing that. As much as I know I'm going to completely regret this, and I have already started a GoFundMe for all of the hate mail and fines that I'm going to have to pay. Tonight's unicorn chef is Rob Fitzgerald, who is otherwise a decent and upstanding human being, but we will likely see another side of that tonight. And so I leave you in the crock-laden hands of Mike Ellis.
Well, thank you, Bryson. This is a daunting experience for me. It's been a little bit stressful, especially because I don't nearly as homeless as I should to take over the hosting. But I hope to step into your shoes as torn and tattered as they are.
Shoes. Did you just see what he was wearing?
Thanks for having me. I do want to say we're going to be cooking today. Rob's leading the show. I'd like just to go to the local SPCA, pet a dog, pet a cat. If you can't donate time and you can't do money, please try to do something to give back to the pets. We need them. They need us. Rob, I know you had something that you wanted to say.
No, you know what? I want to thank Bryson for inviting me on the show. Mike, I'm going to cook so well this weekend, today. I'm going to cook so well, I'm taking that show from you next week. You're going to be sitting out on a stoop trying to get in. This thing is going to be fly. And I'm excited. Thank you for hosting.
Of course.
In regards to the charity I'm representing, the Rion Center here in Boston is awesome. They've done a ton of work. It used to be known as the Irish Immigrant Center. They've done a ton of work to help not only the Irish, but any immigrants that are coming not only into Boston, but around the country. Past few years have been difficult. They're just continuing to grow and expand their services. If you can help out, they would definitely appreciate it.
That's awesome. The biggest question, though, is what are you drinking?
Can you tell?
Yeah, it looks like water.
Yeah.
With a vegetable in it. Vegetable water.
Well,
V8.
Well, let's be clear. This is, let me just show you. It's a little bit of, I'm a big gin and tonic guy. I love gin and tonic. So tonight I'm drinking the Hendrix. And if you're not familiar with some Fever-Tree, it's the way to roll. But when you're drinking Hendrix, you don't go with lemons or limes. You go with a cucumber because we're fancy.
Looks like toilet water. So what I'm drinking is box wine.
Of course it is.
Black box. It's simple. Delicious. It's palate cleansing. And I put it on the floor, which means I'm going to have a red sock, which is nice. So what are you cooking today, buddy? What are we cooking?
All right, man. Here's what I'm thinking.
Was it
the honey glazed salmon? It's going to be good. It should be pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Roasted broccoli. I just actually set the turned up in the oven to get that done. And then some. I initially wanted to do some basmati rice, but then came to realize that we were out of basmati rice, so we're going with jasmine rice instead.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yep. Good story. Yep.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, what do you make?
So I'm cooking salmon as well. This is just the tip of salmon because just the tip. I don't like cooking with honey. Honey to me is like insect spit.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm going to have spit on my food, it's going to be something I'm paying a lot of money for in a bar. No. The true reason actually behind the honey is I don't actually have any real honey. I have this super spicy honey, which is great. It's fantastic. But my wife is not a fan of anything spicy at all, except for me.
Of course. you could. Do you have any Aunt Jemimas or log cabin maple syrup in there? You could just use that instead.
A little bit of corn syrup, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
There.
well, Caro syrup. You got some of that? Because maybe that would work. I mean,
I think you're a bad person. I've always said that.
I'm mostly a bad person. That's true.
When your wife picked this recipe for you, were you surprised that she chose something so easy, or?
No, because my wife knows me very well. She was actually thinking, would it be appropriate to do a mac and cheese that you can just microwave? And I was like, this is Mike. I got to be fancy. She said, oh, fancy Mike, right? Do you have fish sticks? I was like, oh, I could do some fish sticks in the air fryer, but, you know how it goes.
Yeah, I'm just getting more and more agitated with skinny people like you having an air fryer. Just deep fry it and gain some weight. You scrawner.
Let me tell you, this air fryer, I'm in love with this thing. So a year ago, 20 years ago, when the Instapot craze came, we got the Instapot, used it probably 6 times. It sits down in the basement. We still crock-pot a fair amount, but the Instapot, I don't know what it is. It was okay, but it wasn't great. So I was skeptical when I got the air fryer for Christmas.
Yeah.
I love this thing, man. I put toast in this thing. I put waffles in this thing. I put chicken in this thing. I mean, there's like nothing I don't put in this thing.
That's awesome, buddy. So outside from this salmon, what do you think is the best meal you've ever made?
And what you mean besides every meal? I'm a top quality chef. Have you not seen my great posts? Do you not know
I've been asked questions by our friends on Twitter. I reached out and said I have 10 questions I want to ask, and I have 8 in the bag for sure. On 4. 6 more to go. And the last one is just terrible. It really is bad. It really is. No, I'm kidding. I'm messing with you. So, what started the posting of the terrible food pictures?
Well, great question. I think that the food pictures stem from an idea that frankly, it's not that hard, right? Like, I'll just be straight up. My wife is 100% a better chef than I am. She's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. But 2, and I've learned a ton from her, and I probably have a ton more to learn. That being said, one of the things I realize is as we're looking at the stuff that people post, it's not that hard. You just have to do it. In fact, probably the biggest issue that I have is I'm terrible at following directions. I have no idea why you're putting on a glove. I think you're cooking the salmon wrong.
Have I ever told you you're sexy?
You have, in fact, the other night in DM. It's exactly what you're doing. It's creepy.
I'm handling fresh salmon, so I just put on a glove to make sure I don't have to wash my hands over and over again.
Oh, but when you're supposed to be like me, you would do that. As I wash my hands for episode number 1.
Actually, that put up. Can you see the time? Oh, I just missed it. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, as I go in and wash my hands for episode number, the first time I'm washing my hands.
Fair.
Yes. Like Pontius Pilate, I am clean.
So would you say that your wife is the more constant cooker?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. Like, I'm not kidding you. She is ridiculously good at
I will say I've met your wife, and she's a beautiful human being, and definitely read down.
Significantly better than me, right?
So, what do you do for a living?
No, I own a consulting company that specializes in supervising enterprise technology for the mid-market, small medium-sized business. We're driving. It's a handful of former senior executives and Big Four type consultants, and we're trying to bring
Okay.
Fortune 100 security down to small, medium-sized businesses. How about yourself, Michael?
I'm actually I'm in the credit market, so I'm not technically directly associated with information security. I have, however, been visited by Medic, but that was at a strip bar. No, I work in the credit silos, man. Credit. I'm on my way to a different career, but moving companies after 16 and a half years, good times. Difficult change, but we all know change is good. Change is fun, which is probably why you don't cook.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna throw this out here, right? So you're in credit, which in my mind, right, is sort of the accounting finance side of things.
Risk.
You see, look, we're like one mind tonight, because to me, this is exactly where we need to be having the conversations. Like I end up having more conversations with CFOs and chief risk officers than anyone else, mostly because what they understand and decide is important is what ends up happening in the organization.
Yeah, fair.
You see this.
Fair.
I mean, quite frankly, if you're in that side of the business, you're seeing this on the daily, right? Because you're evaluating financial risk, but it's probably understanding where that risk is coming from and what that looks like. Does that sound about right?
Say again, one more time.
I said, does that sound about right?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so I'm going just a tiny little bit of olive oil on this. Yeah. Nice.
So what we're doing right now, it's hard to see your hands moving, which I'm sure is by design.
Hey, look at what my wife just cooked. It's all ready to go.
Sure.
So, here's what I'm doing. Right? I'm putting some tiny little bit of olive oil on the salmon. I'm putting in I'm going to be grinding up some black pepper.
Cool.
Some pink Himalayan salt. Some paprika. I'm going to throw a little bit of garlic on this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to put some honey in it.
Wow.
Ready.
Paprika surprises me. I'm more associated paprika with deeper meats. Have you seen this business? Have you seen this stuff?
No, is that no, I haven't seen that. That looks pretty good. You know what we have? You know what? This up. You know what we got? We got have you seen this?
Oh, there you go. Everything bagel, yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. How's that? Where'd you get that?
It was recommended to me by a lady that I work with, Dina. So I never believe a word she says. She's listening right now, so I can say that. But I picked it up, and literally, it's the best spice it's the best seasoning I've ever had. It's basically garlic and little essences of pepper, which is nice. I spent a lot of time with a good buddy of mine named Chris. Chris's wife is a chef. She's a legit 100% functional.
Look up your buddy's name. Is that what you just did? Because it was a pause and you looked down. I just want to know.
Honestly, you want to know honest to God what happened? When I was talking, I spit a little bit out of my mouth, And I looked down on the floor to make sure I could swipe it back up with my sock.
There you go.
Thanks for calling me out, Rob.
The sock vacuum is a real dad tool. By the way, speaking of dad tool, you're a dad. You're a new dad.
You should come over, Rob.
Hey, I'll just call it as I see it, right? I mean, I'm just calling it as I see it. Is it how's the little one?
Say again?
I said, how's the little one?
How's the little one, did you say?
Yeah, you have a new baby, right? 6 months, 8 months old.
He's fantastic. He's trying to crawl and trying to stand up, and he's grumpy and feisty and bigger than you, and he's super cuddly, and he's delicious. What?
So grumpy and feisty confirms that he's yours, right?
I was just making sure you're listening. That brings me joy.
Yep. So we know that he's yours. That's good. That's always a bonus. No, you know what? Honestly, I love being a dad. I got 3 kids, and candidly, I'm heating up the honey because it's all hardened and stuff. But being a dad is absolutely the best thing ever. It's not easy, but it's so much fun, and you kind of see their little brains working and learning stuff.
Yeah, it's giving me a much deeper respect. And don't get me wrong, I have a tremendous amount of respect for my wife. The tribulations that she really goes to. Oh, we're in trouble.
This is just a reminder that this is a cooking show, and you are supposed to actually start fucking cooking, gentlemen.
It's going to take like 2 minutes. That's why I was bringing over my broccoli.
Yeah. So you know. I'm going to salmon right now, Bryson. Mister, look at this. I wonder, are you auditioning? Is there a chance that you're auditioning? Right? Are you auditioning for the role? Like maybe this is going to be your new gig.
Yeah. Hey. Sorry, I have to get cooking, or else Bryson's going to get mad at me.
Oh, he's going to beat you so hard. All right.
So we've seen you season your fish, which is weird.
Wait, what?
I said we've seen you season your fish. It's
Yep,
a bit
that's
weird.
true. Yeah, well, hey, you got to season the fish. That's what I said. Actually, we got to do. I gotta get the rice going because that's the pain in the ass. The fish is gonna finish in like 4 minutes.
What are you doing with vegetable? You're just doing broccoli, right?
Yeah. Yep. You know me. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, normally, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't tried some broccoli, some fresh broccoli in your cornflakes, you're missing out. Broccoli is high in nutrients. It's a great way to make sure that you're going to stay healthy and have a really powerful day. Have you had broccoli in your cereal yet, Mike? It's a good idea. So I'm just chopping up the heads of the broccoli a little bit, making them smaller. I like them smaller. You can keep the trunk for yourself if you want the trunk. I like that.
You have to make sure you're taking the chef pieces, the benefits of being the cook.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That is exactly right.
So for my broccoli, buddy, I'm doing broccoli on a sheet pan, a little bit of olive oil.
Yep.
A little bit of seasoning. And the seasoning, honestly, Herbamare.
That stuff you just showed me?
Yeah. Should open it.
Yeah, do you throw a little bit of garlic in on that or no?
No. If I was doing something in a pan, I would probably garlic it. But I find in the roast in the oven, I roasted around 400. So it kind of, if I put broccoli in it, it'll burn and it'll get a little bit bitter. But if I roast it slowly, then it gets a little bit nicer. But after Bryson got mad at you, it's technically your fault.
It is my fault. I'm the host. Sorry, I'm not the host. I'm the unicorn.
Send him a message and just say, "Listen, I don't know if you're aware. I'm the boss."
I'm the boss. Isn't that the way it is? So look, a little bit of garlic, a little bit of salt, pepper, olive oil. Boom, that's ready to go. Oven's ready.
That looks fantastic.
Yeah, sometimes I do things fantastically. What else you got, brother?
So my rice is on, my broccoli is on.
I have a question. How did you come from credit into security, or from security go into credit? You just following the money?
Yeah, so that's the honest to God story is I was in school and I was doing Java programming, and I've always had a skill set and I've always had a good understanding of not computers per se, but programming structure and logic structure, not necessarily command structure, but order of events, order of sequence, So I was actually doing really well in Java, and I was kind of thriving at it. And I had to do a test. The test was a very basic first year, put together a digital clock. No math, just calling out methods, bringing in certain elements and making a clock. Very simple. So I did it. It was simple. It worked perfect. It told the time. And when I submitted to class, the professor deducted 15 points from it because he said it wasn't sellable. If I was to put that to a client, they wouldn't buy it. I'm like, well, not quite sure that was the point. So I finished the entire thing and I did well. I got a good grade. But I kind of said at that point I was gonna play inside tech, inside technology as a weapon in the current job. So, I find people that I call them hybrids, folks that have a good understanding of technology and can work around a computer and can work inside logic and work independently from like an apartment, a youth center. I find that they can generally be a little bit more successful inside the role, or inside many roles, really. Also, if you can if you get an admin account and add your own software and stuff to your work computer, good admin for everybody. Cheers to you, brother.
Cheers to you. So it's so funny that you say this because that's one of the things that I'm a huge believer in, right? Like, you've seen some of my posts. You've seen me talk about things like, do we have a tech shortage, a skill shortage? I think so. Years ago, I owned another security company, and quite frankly, we wait one step here. Just gonna get the rice, the water boiling for the rice. But what I found is you can teach people the tech stuff. It's really hard to teach the logic stuff. It's hard to teach the how to think outside the box. They have to want that. But whether you're coming from accounting or auto mechanics or whatever else, I can teach you the forensics or teach you, how to set up and configure a firewall or anything else. And I think more and more, we really want to be thinking about how to address that because obviously there's a huge need for talent, And I think we need to stop. I laughed. I actually had a conversation today where I was saying, I've done all these, tech whiteboard interviews. Come on in, let's solve this, explain this to me and all that crap. And I laughed because I'm like, that is so unrealistic because I would always either Google something or ask someone that I know, either directly in the company or remotely, like a friend or a past coworker that I have a relationship with, and we would solve the problem. Like that's how it is in the real world. What I want to see instead is like, hey, let's whiteboard out this problem. You have a client meeting in Milwaukee on Monday at 11. It's Thursday. Your house cleaner just quit. You and your significant other have 3 kids. 2 have tennis at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, and then on Sunday you have something else going on. How do you make sure that you're there on time and ready? I don't know I'm hearing an echoing. Are you hearing an echoing? Okay, good. It's not me.
Mike, I think it's on your end.
Yeah, I believe so.
Mike, I think that's good for you. How are you? I'm having fun. How are you?
So, hey, Mike, I think you're having wireless connectivity issues.
Wait, say hi to Geek Steve.
Hi, Geek Steve. Now fuck off. Mike, fix your wireless.
I'm food coming up. Hey. All right, I'll talk to you soon.
How about now?
So unfortunately, what's going on, brother?
Are you seriously answering a phone call in the middle of this?
They're all.
Sorry about that.
Is that not how you do this, Mike?
So I have. Let's play fun games. All right. So my fish is going.
Yeah, you have a
Fish is on the pan. I would say it's swimming in oil. It's
My broccoli and my salmon. Now, they actually could do the salmon in a fry pan instead, but I figured, you know what, I have the broccoli going, I'm just going to throw it in the salmon. I'm going to throw it in the oven, make it easy.
So before you did this, did your wife have to give you a walkthrough through the kitchen so you could seem knowledgeable about what things were?
I'm not saying that she had to show me where the measuring cups were, but I'm not saying she didn't have to show me where the measuring cups were. I know where the olive oil is because I'm the tallest one in the house, so I'm the only one that can reach. So I'm good there.
I think your wife needs to get a box of these and educate you a little better.
You're so fancy with that stuff.
They changed my life. I mean,
into the work.
The bedroom.
Get your hands into the work. The food's cooking. We're ready to go. Let me throw on a timer.
I don't agree with you. Dirty hands are yucky food.
These powerful hands do great stuff. What are you doing back there? Taking a shower?
So, what I do is I season the living heck out of the skin. I season it really heavily. Herbamare is quite nice, but garlic, salt, pepper on the very back end of the skin. And then I fry it skin side down for like 5 minutes. And I get that skin super, super crispy. Like crunchy and oily, like your face when you were 13.
Well, I'm going to tell you, my taste is very, very tasty. So, thanks for that. I think that's probably pretty good. That actually sounds like a great idea. Nice, crispy outside crust.
How's your drink? Is that okay?
No, can you come over and make you your own?
So do you eat that? Do you eat that piece of cucumber at the very end, like when you're in the spa?
Oh, this here at the end? Sure, why not? Like eating a worm.
It's like how many worms have you eaten? I don't want to know. Actually, I do want to know. How many worms have you eaten?
Well, let's just say, you know, you know.
Your wife is listening. I understand. We'll use code word. How many books have you read?
You think I read books? I have people for that. Mike.
I have a feeling you do. Do you golf?
Yes, I do. I actually thought I invited you out to golf with me this past summer. Didn't you say no to me?
You flirt with me all the time. It's just like you and me. I don't know what's going to happen.
No. Listen. Like cooking, you have been afraid to come to my house, eat food. Well, no, that's not true. I've never invited you to my house.
Goddamn liar.
I wouldn't invite you to my house. No, absolutely not. Oh, I can't believe I even said that. Now, your wife, she and your boy, absolutely invited all the time. All the time. In fact, I expect them to be at the pool next summer.
That's nice of you to invite her out, not me. That's really nice. What I like most about you is your gift of being inclusive.
You're like doing the money stuff.
So how was it hard? Was it hard for you to choose the button down for the show, or did it just fall into place?
You know what? I've been getting back into wearing button downs, quite honestly, because I don't know. You know, I'm still wearing jeans, of course, but I've been having trying to dress up a little bit just because I've been. I'm ready. I'm dying. I for 7 years I was on a plane every week. I was doing stuff for work, you know. And candidly, I'm missing some of that lifestyle. I'm missing some of that engagement, some of that. You just don't get it over Zoom, you know.
I get it. Do you plan on traveling when COVID is over?
As opposed to what?
You are. I will drive there and I will karate chop your butthole. I swear to God.
What are you gonna do? Get your little John Deere tractor? It'll take you like 12 hours to get here. Oh no, sorry. Cub Cadet.
Thank you, John. I don't make Rob Fitzgerald money.
Hey, you know what? I want a Kubota. I want like a real legit Kubota. Those things are sick. Those things are great.
Yeah, how you working? Is your fish okay?
Oh, I need to check that. Yeah. I don't get any burn. Pretty good, Frank. How's your fish going?
It's good.
Over there?
The back is done. I think I probably have another 2 minutes left on the rice. And I think the vegetables I think have the longest amount of time. I think it's around 6 or 9 minutes.
But this,
I love your cabinets. They're pretty. Prettier than you. Oh, there you are. Never mind.
well, you know, hey. Hi. Hi. I'm Rob Fitzgerald. It's great to be here on Unicorn Chef. Thank you. I am here babysitting Mike Ellis so he doesn't screw anything up as we go forward.
So I have to throw you under a bus for a second, if you don't mind.
I love this. I love it when you throw me under a bus.
So a couple of days ago, Rob called me,
Well,
and he said he was a little bit nervous about coming on. Not nervous about coming on, but not expecting. He thought Mike was going to be mean to him and stuff. And I'm like, Rob, you're not smart enough to know when I'm mean to you. You're going to love being on the show.
you know what? Wait one quick second. I have rotate 26. Hey, what's going on, buddy?
Is he there?
Hey, how are
Is he
you?
feeling?
Yeah, you know what? I know Mike is like really struggling right now. I'm feeling bad. I'm trying to carry the whole show. You're right. It is absolutely, it's brutal, isn't it? It's brutal. I'm trying. Look, I gotta go because he's bringing out another. Oh, look at this. Oh, and Bryce is mad too. Yeah. Oh, and me? And me? Okay, I gotta go. Listen, I gotta go, man.
We just got in trouble again. I think that was actually.
So wait. What were you saying again? Just can you go back?
You're a terrible, terrible person.
It's mostly true. I am mostly a terrible person.
So
People are surprised by that.
So how are you feeling about it? Was the nervousness warranted, or are you good?
I think I'm good. I think I am good. That's right. I did call him and say, "Hey, what do you want to do? I don't know what to do." He said, "You should be scared to death. I'm going to murder you on the show."
Goodness.
I think those were the exact words. I called you for comfort and support, and it didn't go that way. It was funny. So I had to call his mother and say, "Hey, Mrs. Ellis, do you know you done this kid?" She wasn't impressed, and neither was your sister. She was upset.
My favorite part about bagged wine is at the very end, the stuff like it has a hard time coming out.
Yep.
You have to make a wine balloon. It's science. That air pressure pushes the remaining wine out.
Ah, look at that. That's pretty good.
That's some technique for you newbies out there, but you're.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, so.
So how close are you to being done?
Close. I think I'm close. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. You got to mix it up, Michael. Come on, cook dangerously. Cook dangerously, Mike.
The salmon.
Let me try a piece of broccoli. It's not.
You good?
Almost. Not a couple minutes. But yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, it's not as good as broccoli and frosted flakes yet, but I think in another 2 or 3 minutes, we could have a winner.
Okay. Now, are you just immediately going to throw your dinner in the garbage, or?
Wow. Sit here and eat it.
Just so you're aware, that's question number 9.
How's your rice doing? You're not burning your rice, are you? You don't want to burn the bottom like that. That's always terrible.
You know, I have the greatest technique for rice, man.
Yeah, what do you do?
I really do. So I take a 1 cup or like half cup of rice, and then I double and then quarter the amount for water. So if it's 1 cup, then I use 1 cup and a quarter. Put it on the stove just until it boils. The second it boils, I turn the heat off, put the lid on, and just take it directly off the heat and leave it alone for like 15, 20 minutes.
So, quick question: do you follow the boil the water first, then dump the rice in, or do you follow the? And I know this is like a holy war. Like this is becoming. I don't know. There we go. This is becoming such a big thing. So I don't know. I typically will boil the water first, but I'm actually becoming more and more convinced that. So what do you do? It's just an extra like quarter cup over the amount of rice that you have.
Yep. And I find with white rice, I end up with just a perfect texture, not a texture, excuse me, a perfect dryness of the rice. It's not clumpy, it falls apart, it's not gloopy like your normal food. It's all perfect.
Right.
That's what I don't like about basmati. Basmati, that you have to wash it for an hour and a half and then talk to it. And, yeah.
You have to cuddle it, right? You have to read the dreams. That's true.
That stuff drives me insane.
Yeah, but it's good. That's the problem. No one's eating basmati rice because it tastes terrible. Well, unless they're at your house. Oh, yeah, how's your salmon coming, kid? I've got 1 more minute, maybe. Now, are you gonna keep drinking this box red wine of yours for dinner, or are you gonna switch it up?
You know, I really was going to go for a seltzer. I got to be honest. I bought seltzer for Ames. You know, she's not a big whiskey person or anything like that. So I went and got her seltzer, expecting it to be, you know, pretty boring, and you know, it's so trendy, and now you know I'm gonna hate it so much, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're boring and trendy, so I mean, it kind of makes sense, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I am kind of a fashion diva.
Yeah, and that is one of the words I have not heard you called. So you're a whiskey guy. Are you a whiskey guy? Are you a bourbon guy? Are you a bourbon guy? Are you a rye guy? Like where do you fall on this spectrum?
To be quite honest, I'm both. Sorry for
Yep.
for a second. I'm very much into bourbon. I've been drinking bourbon a long time.
Yep, since old Pappy. Hey, I'll be right up. Let me just. It's about a 28-minute ride if I speed 22 to your house.
Fair. Yeah, when I was 20, the drinking age where I'm from, Ontario, Canada, is 19. So, you know, my cousin Kevin and I, my grandfather had a bottle in his basement, and it was like 20-year-old can or 21-year-old Canada Club, and you know the thing was it was like 16 years old or something like that. And the whole thing was when this bottle's 21 years old, we're gonna crack it open and we're gonna drink it. And my grandfather, my grandmother, they're both drinkers. You know, it was what happened back in those days. So, he opens this amazing bottle that's been sitting really on the counter for 20 years. Pours my cousin Kevin and I a shot of this stuff because we're actually at the age. I think he was 18. I don't think he was quite 19 yet. And we took a sip of this liquid and it was horrible. Nobody loves their first bourbon. Nobody. Bah. So we're gutting it down. We're like, oh, this is so good. Oh, mm-hmm. But then I got the bug. Oh, enjoy your vegetable. I kind of got the bug for whiskey at that point. So,
I think they call that alcoholism there, Mike.
Irish, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
That's why I'm happy you chose this dish: the green, the white, and the red, the pink, of the salmon.
See.
So where are you now? You plating yet?
No, you know what? I'm waiting for the rice. Like another. So what time is it, by the way?
No.
Kelly.
Do that.
We need like another minute or so on the rice. It's still a little liquidy. I'm gonna try your trick next time. Can't believe I just admitted that on here on the internet. I can't believe I'm kicking myself for that right now because I'm so dumb.
So are you gonna agree? Because I'm done. I'm functionally done. My rice, my veg, my fish, my plating.
All right, let's see. What do you got? Where's your plate?
Well, I can't show you yet. We have to show at the very end. How dare you?
Oh, we have to do a big reveal. Hey, little man, what's going on? Right. We get my spatula.
To my brother Drew, big me. Sorry, I got a text. I'm being ridiculous. Holy. So I don't know if you've looked at your Twitter, Rob, but there is a significant amount of notifications out there. So,
I get hit up on Twitter.
No, do what you need to do, brother. You're good.
Ready? This is where it's all at, bro.
So I will say, Rob, I think the opportunity to come on here and point out for everybody at home and watching on TV, the millions and millions back home, that I'm a better chef and I can iron a shirt collar better.
First off, like, you're full of nonsense. You're full of nonsense. Completely, absolutely. Like, honestly, how much did you drink that whole box tonight? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
By the way, I appreciate you asking what I was having for, but I'm gonna go with this for tonight.
Does it have a bendy straw?
No, it's fantastic. You should try it sometime. Well, you know, God, I feel like the last time I gave you an alcoholic beverage, you didn't appreciate it. I gave you.
This is a good story. I'm going to tell everybody this story. So, Amy and I were just newly pregnant. Rob texted me and said, "Hey, I have no friends. I'm just looking for somebody to go for lunch with." So we agreed. Amy and I were like, we may as well. So we go for lunch. Rob and his wife, they're both beautiful human beings. A lot of talk. Don't get me wrong. Hey, pinky out. Don't be not fancy. So we meet at this nice restaurant. We have a beautiful meal, and Rob gives me this bottle of champagne. I like champagne. I love champagne, but I like cold champagne. And he gave me a warm bottle of champagne, knowing full well that my wife was pregnant. So she's not going to be able to drink it. Because of that, I'm not going to be able to drink it. So it's been sitting downstairs, and Rob has really earned the title of the worst gift giver on the face.
I
He did pay the bill at lunch, though.
really should reconsider how you title that.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, whatever. Your wife is a beautiful human being. I was so happy to spend time with the woman that took the bullet for all the other women. You know, God bless her. That was number 10.
Are you ready to share your plate? Like, do you
Are you ready? Okay.
ready?
Unicorn Chef, Rob Fitzgerald. Salmon, rice, broccoli, honey glaze. The man, the myth, the legend. Let's see.
There you go. Okay, can you see it? There we go. We have the rice, the salmon, the broccoli. It's delicious.
Bryson, how do you feel about the plating?
I got the snapshot. You can yeah. This is wonderful. I would like to start by noting that there are several approaches to life, right? There are approaches that have content and talent, and then when those are lacking, doubling down on entertainment is always a good approach. And you two were masterful in the latter. And so, with all seriousness, I do wish you very much gratitude for covering for tonight. For those of you at home, this is not our typical episode. It's usually a little more food oriented, but always a good and fun time. That's a goal.
Kidding me? Like, we made salmon. I made rice. You know how hard it is to make rice?
I'm just going to minimize Rob and wait. Okay, I can mute him. No problem. So, thank you both for joining us, and see y'all next week. And Mike Ellis, somehow with a little bit more training, is in fact going to host next week's episode.